Today on the channel, we're looking at Studio Series 86 29 Bumblebee from Transformers the movie on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, figure fans? Way I Got It Figured, back with another Transformers Studio Series 86 review. This time we're looking at Bumblebee, the A-level figure that's supposed to see a super wide release. I don't know, seems like it's just about as common as anybody else, but I was able to obtain one at Walmart. Didn't pre-order them, just sort of waited until I found it in the store, and we're going to take a look at them, compare them to a couple other Bumblebees, that sort of thing. So of course, Bumblebee is one of the top characters in Transformers, one of the so-called Legendary 7. Even if I don't subscribe to the Legendary 7 idea, he is a huge character nonetheless. And generally, when they make a G1 Bumblebee, I generally pick it up. Moreover, since I plan to get basically everything in Studio Series 86, he was always going to kind of be a lock anyway. So there you go. So starting off with the packaging, we've got Bumblebee. It's weird, his backdrop is a little bit different. It's kind of like he's like inside Unicron, it looks like, I guess. It's a weird thing. I don't usually go over the backdrops, but it's not what I was expecting. Thought it'd be like a Moon Base 2, since that's where he spent the majority of his screen time in the movie. Got some nice Marcelo Mater artwork. Bumblebee 8629. A little bit more of his body in the running pose. And got his stuff on the back here. The depths of Unicron. So there you go. This is like the end of the movie. Transforms in 23 steps. Let's get him out. See what he's all about. Okay, so we've got Bumblebee out of his box and with his sole accessory, which is his blaster pistol. And, it's a pretty cool updated figure of Bumblebee. Looks pretty good. I mean, I think his chest is a little bit too squared off from the animation model, but he's not it's not bad in any way. I would probably disagree a little bit with the idea and the notion of screen accuracy with this particular version of Bumblebee that they put in Studio Series 86. But it's a good figure. It's really, I can hold two thoughts in my head at the same time, where maybe it's not 100% accurate, but they wanted to have a sort of chibi Volkswagen vehicle that they wouldn't have to license from Volkswagen. Sort of how it will look on the show, and maybe in vehicle mode we'll get kind of a better look of that. But that's kind of what you're dealing with. And then of course you do have a little bit of paint matching issue, because his chest is made up of the clear blue plastic. So it's an issue we've seen before with Earthrise Sunstreaker, but everything else really matches. And I guess you can nitpick this color difference, but I'm not sure why they're still making the figures with the blue plastic when they know that they're going to remake them with the solid plastic that'll then not need to be paint matched. Not sure why they're still doing that, but they're still doing it. In regards to Bumblebee's portrait, this is probably the best one. I actually think it's a little bit better than the Netflix Earthrise Bumblebee, but we'll compare them side by side here in a bit. And he's got his typical blaster pistol that you would see on season 2 of the cartoon, and it is nearly identical to the Earthrise one, but it's actually not. It's actually not the same gun. It's a new gun. There was no tab, and this is like molded correctly on both sides. The other one had kind of grooves in it, but it's very close to the other one. As for articulation, you know, you can do all the normal things we expect out of our Transformers figures now. Including, you know, his knee bend and all of that. Even has ankle pivots. And if this figure was supposed to be like Cliff Jumper with a more squared off top, which wouldn't be 100% accurate with him either, but it would be a little bit more accurate than this. I'd probably be cool with that. And, you know, I don't know. It sounds like I'm nitpicking. I'm not. We're probably going to get a Cliff Jumper anyway, just like I'm pretty sure we're going to get a solid plastic version of this chest at some point in the future. It's just what they've been doing. So I'm just talking history. But I do think that as Cliff Jumper, this is going to look pretty good. So we'll get Bumblebee transformed next into Chibi Volkswagen mode. And be right back. Alright, so we've got Bumblebee in Chibi Volkswagen Bug mode. And his transformation is actually pretty easy. It's just sort of a collapsing in. And it looks good. Of course, the aforementioned paint matching, and then you got a little bit of a different color plastic right here. But again, it could be easily rectified by just having a plastic top. So of course now you've got two Autobot logos because they wanted to have it on his feet and his chest for where it is on the car and the animation, and where it is on the robot in the robot mode. But you know, you can't get a removable panel or something like that in a deluxe, so it is what it is. It looks good, rolls nice enough. Got some storage on the back for the gun. But yeah, looks nice. With the front wheels and the back wheel being different sizes, it makes them look a little bit more like a sports car than a derpy, true to life Volkswagen Beetle. So there you go. So we'll get Bumblebee transformed back into robot mode and do some comparisons. All right, so we're gonna do some comparisons for Bumblebee now he's back in robot mode. First, the most obvious comparison would be to the Netflix Bumblebee, and he is standing roughly the same height. Seems like he might be a little bit taller, but it's negligible. And of course, this yellow is much more animation accurate. It's even more toy accurate. This yellow is not necessarily correct. You know, And then in regards to the portraits, both of them are definitely Bumblebee, but I think I like the Studio Series 86 one better. So there you go, have that. And then, even though this is a non-transforming figure, we have the recently reviewed YOLO Park AMK mini-series Bumblebee. And he's actually, I'm going to put the Earthrise back in so you can see they're all different yellows. He's like a lighter shade of this, and he's an even lighter shade of yellow. So they're all same shades. I like to put this one in because I think I'm going to use this one in stop motions, even with Generations figures, just in certain instances. But as you can see, they're all in the same sort of scale. And of course, where would we be without a comparison with the standard bearer of scale, at least until the general release of the Studio Series 86 version, Earthrise Optimus Prime. You know, Bumblebee's gonna be tiny compared to that figure, because this figure comes to about his head, top of his head comes to about the shoulder of that version of Prime. And so you'll see that again coming up here in the near future. But that's where we're at this very moment. So there we go with our comparisons. I think we can move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on Studio Series 86, 29 Bumblebee. I think it's a good figure. You know, like I said, I have a couple of minor gripes with it being a little bit too blocky. But it's not a serious gripe. You know, it's still a toy. Gotta make it work the way you can make it work. I do look forward to Cliff Jumper being sort of redone like this. And yeah, it works for now, for sure. They used the Netflix Bumblebee mold enough times that I think it's about time to move on to a new one. This will definitely fit the bill, and see what happens with other guys like this in the near future. As for where I got a figure rank, I'm gonna give him an 8. I mean, I think it's a solid figure. It's not the world's best thing I've ever had. It's not the worst either. So yeah, you know, it's a solid release. I think an 8's a good number for him. So that's gonna do it for this one. Got more Studio Series 86 to come, and other, you know, Legacy Transformers reviews to do as well. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We are working our way up to 500, and then from there it's 1,000, and then from there, who knows? The goal is to be at 1,000 by the end of 2024. Till the next video, everybody stay safe. See you on the next one. Peace.
The way I got it figured.